What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and I'm in the throes of an illness, but I still had time to come to you with my review, tears in my eyes, and say something about 100 Years of Hero, which is being released on Friday from IFC, so I gotta get in there at some point. This is Emma Corrin, Mika Monroe, Nicholas Galickson, Richard E. Grant, Felicity Jones, and there's someone in here, some little pop star. It's Taylor Swift, T Swift. It's somebody with that level of clout. Oh my god, but it's not T. It's somebody better than that. Oh God, who is it? It's Charlie. Charlie's in this. Charlie XCX. So, I just wanted to see if I could get the Swifties, like, blood boiling. I think there's, like, a feud between... I work with kids, and so, uh, they come up with, like, the weirdest thing, and they're like, I can't believe. Did you see what Taylor did to Charlie? And I'm like, no. Who? I miss the times when I used to talk about celebrities like I knew them, you know? But I don't know, there's some beef here, so whatever. Yeah, Charlie's in this movie. I'm so sick I didn't even put a hat on. I just was like, whatever. I sat down, I was like, I don't have a hat. I don't want to stand up. We're gonna do 100 Days of Hero. Fuck it. So I saw this one the second time because screeners. It's the thing about critics, and I'm always honest. You know, people are like, why do you subscribe to this channel? You just ramble on. It's like, well, I don't lie to you. Screeners. Sometimes you can watch them multiple times. It's different, like with a theater. If I go attend a physical screening and I want to see a movie again for context, which if I don't get a screener with audio description, I love this. So here's the deal. So IFC gave me like their year slate for awards consideration. And I didn't even know this one was on there. I hadn't gotten around to it yet. And then individually they sent it out, a thing, and they were like, oh, 100 is opening, screeners available. And I was like, oh, cool. And then I was like, wait a minute. And I realized I already had it. And so I sent a thing back saying, never mind, I don't need a screener. I already have this movie. And he was like, oh, and I was like, don't worry about I said something about audio description. I was like, IFC's not going to give me audio description. I've tried. Like, I get ghosted by IFC so hard. The poor guy was like, oh, well, I'll try to get you audio description and see what I can do. I was like, good luck. It's been crickets. I waited until like basically we're like 2 days away from opening. So yeah, here's 100 Years of Hero. So I just watched it a second time to get more clarity because there was no audio description. And I did like the movie the first time through. So, but it can be kind of confusing because it's like storyception. Like there's a bunch of stories within stories within stories. And so this is, and I've done this with movies with audio description too, where I've watched them a second time just to see if they work. I remember Cadu Lake, and I didn't really love the movie. I was kind of bored by it. And then all of a sudden it has this like batshit twist in it. And I'm just like, oh, what? And then I had to like rewatch it again to make sure the twist even worked. I'm like, wait, hold on. All right, let's walk it back. Does this twist actually work? Because my brain had kind of turned off during this movie. And I still found it to be boring, but yeah, the twist actually was well set up and boring film, good twist. Here, you have stories within stories within stories, so it gets a little conflicting, and I don't know who's playing what, where, who, when, why, and who's in the past and present and future conversations, but we start off with this conversation about like how the universe is being run by Birdman, and there's like Birdman's wife or sister, or I don't know, something, is running Earth, and Birdman promises not to mess with Earth and let humans do their own thing, but then humans mess up something, and so he gets involved, And then something happens to her. She has a daughter. That daughter's Hero. Uh, I saw this one twice, man. I feel like in the Lost Lands where there's so much backstory here, it's like, why? How are you cramming this all in here? So, um, that's a lot of needless backstory that's not even important either, because by the time we get to it, there's Hero is like a maid to Cherry, who's played by Mika Monroe, who is the bride to uh, this guy who has been told by I don't know, the person in charge. I love that. Come back to me in 100 nights. That's very specific. In 101 nights. That's very specific. I'm a very specific man. I love that line. Um, but so he can't consummate. I don't know if the character is gay or not. There's a lot of context that I don't get because of lack of audio description. So even after seeing this movie twice, they don't really establish him that well. He just doesn't have sex with his wife, and I don't know why. Like, it just his choice. I don't know. Maybe his penis fell off. I have no fucking idea. It's not like he has a well-established male lover in this movie who has, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing. Um, he just needs to impregnate. Like, he's been given 101 nights to impregnate Mika Monroe, and like he can't seem to do that. But his brother slash best friend, played by Nicholas Galickson, like strolls into town, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go on a trip for a few days," and Nicholas is like, "Well, I'm gonna stay here," and they make a bet, and Nicholas thinks that he can get Cherry to cheat uh, on her husband and sleep with him. And of course, this would be like a win-win for him, because then he would, maybe get to say, "Oh, Cherry's pregnant," or in this case, they also say that they would just kill Cherry for being, you know, a whore. I guess I don't know. Weird times that we live in this film. So, uh, and Nicholas Galickson laughs and like, "I'll be there to see her hang too, ha ha ha!" Like, because of you. um, I I did appreciate the fact that this film didn't go straight to like rape, because really this film feels like he could have just like forced himself on her and been like, "I did it, yay, I won, I own this castle now." The end. So, because it's like a period film, right? Like, we sort of. I mean, I don't think it's in any period. I think this is like a fantasy film that's set in, the land of Nod, the history of Narnia or something. But um, it could have happened. They could have done it that way. There's a lot of rape in a lot of these other shows, Game of Thrones, whatever. People just, oh, we're having sex now, great. Um, but no, instead he tries to woo her legitimately, but like very covertly, because he doesn't want to like seem like he's coming on to somebody's wife. And she kind of picks up on that a little bit, and she uses Hero to tell these stories, these forbidden stories. So she tells a story about like the three stones or something. I don't know. It's these sisters, and so you get like a story within a story within a story, and the movie kind of ends with a story about Hero and wraps it back into like Mika Monroe's character, and just everything in this movie is way more convoluted than it needs to be. This movie's kind of campy. I wish it was more campy, though. The problem is that everybody showed up to be in an actual movie. So, like, the structure of the film. I did say I was sick. I'm sorry. I can't. The structure of the film is not good. Like, the script and everything is a mess. It's a hot mess. But the problem is that, like, you've got Emma Corrin here, who's actually really good. You've got Nicholas Galickson here, who's well cast in his role. Richard E. Grant, who is great in his role. I mean, it's not a big one. I couldn't. There's nothing about Charlie's role that necessarily stood out to me as being like, oh my god. Same thing with like Felicity Jones. It's like they're So Mika Monroe does a good job of playing the, sort of somewhat breathless damsel that might be smarter than you think she is. So all of these acting performances are solid. So it kind of feels like a film that was written by someone and made better by the actors who agreed to do it. It's one of those films. Um, otherwise it would be really campy. If I subbed out a lot of these actors for different performers and they weren't as good and they weren't these people, the film would turn into a camp fest like real fast. Um, Start swapping out some of these performers for lesser talented people, and immediately you have the campiest film of the year. You have something that's like vying to be, a midnight movie almost. But unfortunately, someone like Emma Crane is trying to get an Oscar nomination, so she's going to do her role to the best of her ability. You have people who are Oscar nominees like Richard E. Grant and Felicity Jones, and they're trying to do their best here. So I don't know, it kind of worked. Not well, but after having seen this film twice, I'm still intrigued by it. But it is kind of a hot mess because it keeps telling stories within stories, and I'm not really sure the film benefited from that. Like, especially like the whole part about Birdman at the beginning. I was like, do we need this? Especially where it's placed, because by the time it becomes relevant and we learn more about Hero, it's at the end of the film. And then it's like, oh, remember that nonsense we told you at the beginning? Well, it's relevant now. But it doesn't feel relevant for like the next like 80 minutes of the movie. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, by the way, here you go. Relevancy. Um, so I don't know what this is going to do because it's opening in the middle of awards season. It's opening the week after Thanksgiving, which is never a great weekend to open. So I think it's being thrown as a sacrificial lamb out to the world, but probably won't do much at the box office unless Charlie has fans who come out for her big acting debut. Um, yeah, man, this is tight for me. The thing is, I know it's going to release with audio description. I know it's just like a me thing. So trying to use that too much to punish here is kind of irrelevant because if you're watching this and you're blind, it's like when you go to the theater, you will have audio description. It's just IFC does not understand the concept of a blind film critic and what I would need, nor do they care. Same thing with like their streaming service, like AMC Plus, how they functionally have audio description. They just refuse to actually upload their own audio description to their service. But they have like, I don't know, 5 titles that have audio description to prove the fact that they can use audio description on their own service. They just choose not to. It's a choice for them. It's a choice. And it's a lot worse when it's a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel bad for these independent films that they just don't know because accessibility is not on their radar. It's clearly on their radar, and they make choices here to constantly send out a message saying how undervalued, how much they don't really give a shit. So, but it's not the film's fault that they're being released by IFC. So I can't punish the film by that. I have to take how I feel about the distributor out of this. So 100 Years of Hero is borderline campy, uh, owes all of its potential success to the fact that it was well cast. And that's the best I can say about that. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. We're going to go fresh. I know I'm probably being nice, but I did kind of like it, and I have seen this film twice, and it's 90 minutes, and it didn't really bother me either time. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, oh, this movie. So, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I will see you guys on the other side.